Join with me once again. We're going to travel a little bit today, maybe not through the 8th dimension, but we shall leave our comfy situations and journey into the great unknown. The ogre shall join you shortly. Tell you what's amazing to me. What is probably one of the most amazing phenomena that I can imagine. I am not going to lie to you or myself. I'm unimportant. You know, in the grand scheme of things, I don't count on YouTube. I have my friends that we get together. I'm not trying to change the world. I'm not trying to make a living. I'm not even trying to change your mind, whomever you may be. As a matter of fact, my goal would be to make your mind unchangeable once you find logic. Once your ship has sailed safely into the harbor of logic and is docked therein, I want your mind to be unmovable. Canada is going for constitutional reform. I'll definitely look that over after the stream. I saw that and I didn't know if it was some kind of new form of YouTube. Because here's the point today, folks, and I'm not here to bitch. The title of this is Sow the Wind, Reap the Whirlwind. And the title is that for a reason. I joined Twitter in 2016. I've been kicked off, I think, 5 times. I was just kicked off, and as soon as they let me back on, I put a screenshot up. I'll screenshot right now what I put up there. Excuse me. And, you know, I'll let you decide if this is a guy that's just saying, look, fuck you, man. I know why you kicked me out, and fuck you. Is this a guy that seem to have any interest in, making amends with this company? I'm desperately looking. I can't remember where I put that screenshot, but I'm going to find it here in just a second. I think it might be. And I'll come up with it one day, one time or another. I got shit up here from SoFan, and that's, to me, that's the bummer. That will be the bummer for me, is that when they kick me off, the contacts that I've made over the last 3 years will just will be gone. And there's nothing I can do about that. The question, I guess, is when someone like myself, or someone like you, or anyone, any autonomous human being, makes a conscious decision to say, you know what, fuck you and your rules, stuff it right sideways up your ass. I'm going to do things my way on your platform. Is it, shouldn't I have expected it to happen? And now listen, I'm only guessing too on the why. It could have been from something that they reviewed that I've done a long time ago. I don't know what it could be. I'm about ready to just give up on finding this right now. Like I said, if I could get on Twitter, I'd find it in an instant. Because the simple fact is that I posted it there on Twitter. I think a lot of times we not only get what we ask for, we ask for what we want. I couldn't seem to cut the tie, and I just said why. You know, I knew these people. I'm friends with. I mean, James Woods followed me. I could send him messages. Luckily, I captured a few of those. I could send him messages and ask him about, you know, what movies did he watch when he wanted to get uplifted or when he was in a bad mood or whatever. And he would answer me. And I could get a hold of Count Dankula and to name just two, and I could name 20 more. And you know, now that's gone. But don't we end up steering ourselves in the direction we want to go anyway? I mean, if I'll miss anything, there's probably 5 or 10 people that I like that I'd always shoot out a Twitter thing saying, hey, here I am. And they would, they'd come by from there. And now, of course, I can't do that, but it's okay. I mean, I'm one of the most hated guys I can think of. I have 4 people watching, 1 thumbs up and 2 thumbs down at the moment. And this is just a random stream I put up. I have people. I'm so cool. I was such an unforgettable, stable genius, if you will, that they can't let it. I don't even know who. Could not possibly assume who it is. That's it's this religious thumbs downer. I guess the last one only got 1 thumbs down because I hadn't streamed in about a month and a half. Maybe they thought I was gone, and then people, are probably however. I don't know how they. Oh man, alive. Ooh, that was a stony swat. Fucking Facebook. Give me a 7-day ban for saying we're gonna hang pedophiles. I'm sure that's what. I'm not sure, as I said, but probably tied in. I just sent out this tweet and had a picture of an Antifa guy, and I said, look at this fag. Look at this fag. Russia, because he had a big star of, a star like the Russian flag. No hammer, no sickle, just the red star, or just Chinese, whatever. And I put, look at this fag. I can't remember exactly what I put, but I said, look at this fag. And I put, oh yeah, Russia wouldn't have him. He'd last 0 days in the Targa. And for those of you that don't know what the Targa is, it's where they're extreme northern climate where they have, it's like above the Arctic Circle. And it's just an extremely hellscape. It's an unbelievable place where only I could never make it up there. I don't believe me. I'm not fooling myself into thinking, I'll go up there and be a Targa man. Hell no. There's a documentary called Happy People. I highly recommend you watch it. And it is about life on the Targa. It's unbelievable what they go through up there, but these people are happy people. They're content in their life and in what they're doing. Yes. You are a wizard. And I tell you, it's kind of cool that I'm able to know 3 really good wizards. Yourself, Stonely, Vash LaRue, Vash the Whiplash LaRue, the Token Dargan, and of course, Memes of Destruction. I don't know, maybe Memes can't talk to anymore. I mentioned him a couple of times. I think there's this conspiracy. It started at the Red Eye stream, I know, and with 40 ounce or whatever. These things are so far gone now that it's just, I'm sure that anyway, where am I at? I was talking about Twitter, but it kind of ties in. I mean, when you think about people like Mad Dodge Production and 40 ouncer, whether they're entertaining or I like them or whatever, is neither here nor there. But when you look at people like that it's like, as soon as you don't conform to the way I like, I'm going to ostracize you and get with my buddies. I really have a theory that folks that act like that online, they were really outcast probably in high school in their youths. And so now they have a chance to, the pendulum is swinging back. It's just like this racist thing, there was Jim Crow, it was slavery, there still is slavery. All kinds of people were slaves, but in this country, the prevalence was black people were slaves. Okay, and then we did have Jim Crow, but now the pendulum's swinging. Now it's swinging. You got this fat Negro chick coming out of Congress talking shit on the president of the United States. They're talking about the Speaker of the House knows who they are, and if they want to talk to them, they should make an appointment with them. But they should also remember that they are women of color and all that entails, and that they've been getting death threats. Nancy fucking Pelosi, whether you like her or not, she's been getting fucking death threats for decades. That's one badass bitch, boys, girls. I'm gonna tell you right now, like her, hate her, I don't care much for her, but I do respect her. Let me just step up right here for 1 second. You know what? They'll ring the bell. I got my stand in full swing right now. I've got jerk Jew meat out there. I've got some lettuce out there and some onions. My produce isn't really full yet. I'm in about 3 or 4 more days. I will have squash, peas. Oh my goodness. I have a bunch of stuff to put out there. Probably a lot of broccoli also. It could be something else. I mean, I've been watching Owen Benjamin, and he's this band-hammered, crazy dude, right? It's like, what's it says? MC is gonna pop a blood vessel one of these shows. You keep throwing me up. I haven't talked to you in a while, Stoley. But he is, man. She said, I'm gonna be there for the pop. Me too. I was listening to him this morning. Boy, he was in rare form this morning. He, the whole if they don't like it, they could go home kind of thing. Really must have got under his skin, because he just come uncunted this morning and didn't hold back at all about what he thought. I'm there almost every morning. 99.9% of the time, I choose to just not say anything, because there's people there that there's a book I read. It's a book of I consider it a book of wisdom, and a book full of good advice. And good advice is best taken. And one of the pieces of advice it has in there is, don't cause your brother or your sister to stumble. All right? Don't cause your brother or your sister to stumble. Now, the human being I'm thinking about right now, that's all they do is cause people to stumble. That's their whole goal. How you doing, MC? We were just talking about the devil and up he jumps. That's all that they do, is want their brother or sister to stumble. But if I go and I'm there, and it's like every time I'm listening to MC in the morning, I know that I piss people off by my mere presence. If every time I'm like, hey, how you doing? Blah, 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 blah. I'm feeding into this thing that I hate, that I abhor. Not trolls now, because especially the human being I'm thinking about right now is not a troll. They don't have the je ne sais quoi to be a troll. But yes, there you go. You sow the wind, you reap the whirlwind. Much like the the newly christened squad. I mean, when I hear that too, I think of some other words that sound similar, like squalor and squat. That's the squat. And here come these 4. In my mind, you're having a good time, right? You're chilling out with mates, having some cold pints, whatever you do, having an iced tea, having a cuppa, whatever it is that you enjoy. You're there with lads, some ladies around the pool, somebody's barbecuing, and here come these 4 women. Now I don't care who you are. You could be white and have all white people there. You could be black and have all black people there. It doesn't matter. You could be so mixed and blended up in your culture there at this particular barbecue that it's representative of the entire globe. But when you've seen these 4 bitches walking your way, oh man, come on, somebody give me an amen. I mean, the first thing you think, you can tell. All right, and if you couldn't tell right away by looking at them, because I know somebody's thinking, don't judge a book by its cover, Ogre. It's not very wise. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you can, by the way. If it's pornography, if it's got chick sucking a dick on the front of it, you can pretty much understand you're not going to get Shakespeare out of that book. But if you were convinced by looking at them, all you'd have to do is wait for that Rashida Tlaib, any of them, but especially Ilhan Omar. Open your mouth. Speak. Say words. Hezbollah. The way she talks, her enunciation, how she accents words. She is a growling, spitting, disgusting harpy straight out of the bowels of hell. And if anybody doubts me, keep voting her in. Let these people. I hope and pray that I'll be old, dead, long gone, farting dust, worms playing pinochle on the old snout before these people get a grasp and a grip. My philosophy has been, is, and always will be, if it's a good cause, go to the sound of gunfire. And man, come on. I feel like they're pushing. And whenever I started thinking about this and why I want to have a stream today, it was on my mind to talk about how the white people and, white guys, white menace, but they're fucking everybody. They are. Okay, right now, as a white dude, I could say I am the brunt. I am getting the butt of it. But so did the black woman at one time. So did the black man. So did everybody did. So did you look back through history, so did the Italian immigrants. We all had it. We all got it, okay? We all did it. We all got it. I want to be a fucking victim. Why do these people want to be victims? Why do they want to talk about this shit? Why do they want to have a demeanor and a speech pattern that is so off-putting and so stomach-turning that you can't even stand to listen to this bitch? Stonely, somebody tell me if this music's so high that it's aggravating. Let me know. I love this as a backing track. Anybody that doesn't recognize it, it's from Buckaroo Banzai Adventures Across the Eighth Dimension. What an excellent movie that was. Just iconic, if you ask me. There's nothing we can do about it, I don't think. I don't want to say that. I'm going to tell you the truth. I will be, and I would like to be at this moment, the guy that just shows up to complain a bit, all right? That's what I would like to do at this moment. I don't have any solutions. Don't get me wrong. Don't vote her back in. Anyone, when I say her, anyone of the squat. Don't vote. Don't take a squat. You do not want to take a squat on your congressional district. And when you vote for one of the squad, that's exactly what you're doing. You're taking a squat. As usual, pardon the damn flies. You think it's bad when they crawl across the camera. You ought to live in a fucking house with a damn chicken that your wife won't let you get. I can't say that. I already talked this. Okay, I'm building the chicken a very nice outside coop that will be so nice inside. Because we clean that coop on the outside 3 days. But flies hatch out very quickly, and chickens shit. That's what they do. You ever heard the old saying, like shit through a goose, chicken, very similar animal. They have crops, and the way they eat, they shit, constantly shit. Son of a bitch, I love you, Pip. These fucking flies are driving me nuts, man. I'm not going to eat you, girl. I promised you. We call her Pipper Doodle because she'll never be Chicken Noodle. You see? My wife and I are weirdos that like rhyming shit and just cracking jokes amongst each other. So you sow the wind, you reap the whirlwind. My question is, if you're listening and you care to give me your opinion, how you doing, Memes of Destruction? It's excellent to see you. Today I'm just talking about how I sowed the wind and put up all these memes and made all these tweets about how we were sick and tired of the LGBTQ plus AAIP molesting our children and twisting our children. I can't remember exactly what that one was either, but that one got me kicked off for 3 days. And then I come back on and instantly put that screenshot back up. Damn, I want to find that screenshot. I can't believe I can't. The problem is that I can't even remember what the hell it was called. I named stuff. It's like, oh yeah, I'll never forget that one. Yeah, right. Oh, I think it was Super Happy Fun Time America. Yeah, here, check this out. This is one that got me one of them that got me a timeout. Is that what should we call it a timeout? Let's see here. Screen share. Yeah, we call it a timeout. This is one of the ones that got me a timeout. So it says, to super happy fun time America 2. Lots of people care. We are sick of twisted people forcing perversions on children. The LGBTQAAIP plus is a pedo cesspool. I mean, to right now, I stand behind that. In order to get back on to Twitter, I kowtowed, held my hat in my hands. I channeled my inner memes of destruction, and I came to them and bowed before Jack Dorsey. And I removed this tweet. Of course, I obviously screenshot it first to appease the Twitter gods. So here it is. Now, all of my, all of the contacts I made over the last 2.5 years, James Woods followed me. Scott Pressler followed me. Dankula, Sofane. I mean, the list is so long. All the cool people followed me. I had access to all of them. I could DM all of them. There wasn't anybody that I thought was cool that I had access to that wouldn't get back in touch with me within a week. These are people that I'm sure get thousands and thousands of whatchamacallits all the time. Digital Drive, how you doing, my good brother? Somebody that I kind of look up to. I don't usually say that. Really excellent fellow. I'm so glad that he's here with us today. And in fact, there's another person that I contacted, I got with and discussed things with on Twitter. I won't be able to do it anymore. The point is, if you think, listen, folks, this is the problem. I won't change. I know myself. I'll be sitting here, I'll crack my 4th beer that night, and I'll be like, cold beer. What? Twitter told me I couldn't say that. And I'll say something again, say something worse. Repeat the same thing. As I said, I posted this. I posted this screenshot right here. That was the first tweet I posted whenever I came back off of that suspension for this tweet. As you see, I think it was like turn your profile time for 14 days. I didn't think they suspended me that time for 14 days, but whatever. I'd rather do another original content. Blah, blah, blah. I think it was like 3 days or something. Now it's done though. It's just gone now. Let's see. I'll show y'all. And this is what bums me out the most. I hit messages. All right, click. No. Don't have a message selected. Try again. Nothing. Your account is suspended and is not permitted to perform this action. What? Communicating with people. This honestly, this part of it. If you don't want me to be able to communicate on your platform, okay. But what about all the people? What about all the messages that I have on here that are just now just gone? What about that? I wouldn't go to my profile and it's still there. It just says I'm following no one and I have 0 followers. Well, that's untrue because I was following like 100 people and I had like 450 followers and it's just gone. Just gone. So the question is now I'm getting around to the question to you all. Should I appeal it? Should I do it? Should I even, go to them and say, hey, I'm sorry? Because that's required. Man, I'm gonna tell you all the truth. If I say I'm sorry to Twitter, I would not be telling the truth. I'm not sorry for anything that I've ever posted on there. In fact, look, I can screenshot this. I can screen share this, and you'll be able to see that this is where is it? There, this is the one. I think this might be the one that they didn't like. It says, look at this fag. The USSR would not have his bitch ass. He would last for 0 days in the Targa. And I'm retweeting this from Mark Panteo, who is another person that followed me I could get in contact with and I think is cool. And he just put, the next civil war will be short. So it's okay saying that this guy is easy to kill. But whenever I noticed the very Russian, I guess that's Chinese, whatever that is, looking hat, I think of communism and put, look at this fag. And what was it? What wouldn't they like about this? That I said he was a bitch, his ass was a bitch, that he looked like a fag, or that he wouldn't last in the Targa. All of those things, undoubtedly true. I don't know. I think it's because I retweet stuff like this. When a judge rules the hooker has to pay you, and I've got one of my famous memes was, I believe in LGBT, the ideals of LGBT, liquor, guns, beer, and Trump. And it's just such a bummer. I'll miss PDAF too. That's really him swallowing his own face. That's the, if I'm not mistaken, that's the, oh, fuck. I know so many people. I'm going to forget his handle on YouTube here, and I can't do any functions. If I click on anything here, it'll be like, you're suspended. In fact, look, they're taken down. They said, what will you be doing this for, Brits Gurning? That's where I got that response from him. And I think they took all these down because it was like, they were all could probably be considered offensive by Twitter. It was like, be thankful we left you this bit, Brits. Oh, in fact, here, look, let me show you stuff like this. Happy 4th. Oh, whatever. So should I try? Just press 1 if I should try to get back on. Maybe I can do it. If I can do it without apologizing, press 1 if I should try to get back on. If you think that I should just let go of Twitter because I'm obviously not politically correct enough and it would just be another instance of this, it'd just be basically a waste of time for everybody. Press 2 or whatever, or tell me right here what you think. It's not like we got 50 million people here and you just have time to press the 1. Meme says 1337. Oh my goodness. How about a 187? I put a 187 on Jack Dorsey. No, most people know what that means. I would never do that. I don't want to hurt anybody. I mean, that's the funny thing. In this same place that I'm at now, in this Twitterverse, I am MC. I've got a Gab too. I'm just gonna go over there, and I think a lot of the same people are there. If I contact them on Gab, that's something I noticed is when you contact people on Gab, they usually get back to you quick because there's not as many people on there. So I'd go and I got a list of folks. I know who I'm looking for. I will miss people like Scott Pressler. Come to think of it, I actually have Scott Pressler's phone number. I've texted him a few times. He's a very cool guy. Oh, I know what you're thinking. Oh, he's gay. Oh no, nobody's thinking that, are they? I mean, that's what they'd make us out to be. It's like I'm not homophobic. One of the people I really like online and think is just a cool dude that's a diehard Trumper. Die-hard, American-loving, America first, MAGA country maniac, Scott Pressler. He's queer as a $3 bill, boy. Tell you what, he's got a boyfriend. They live together and they do homo shit. I mean, I don't like to think about that. I shouldn't even have said that because I really don't like to think about it. Just, let me get it. Yeah, sorry, I just made myself laugh a little bit too hard. So that's probably what I'll do is switch to Gab. I don't know what else to do. I have Facebook too, Stonely, but that's only for my convenience. And I think there's like 6 people, that I'm friends with there. I used to have an account. It was me. It had my name on it, my real name. And they wanted me to fax them or to email them a photocopy of my ID, my license. And I was like, no. And then they said, I had 7 days to do it. And I pleaded with them all 7 days. I was like, please. I had friends from seminary on there. I mean, I had a lot of friends on Facebook, but most of them, thinking back, were just bullshit. They really weren't friends. But whatever, man. I don't know. Nothing I can do. I'm trying to decipher what the hell you meant with that, MC. I'm not even joking. That just stopped all of my thought process. I'm reading this MDK. Would you like to assign a corner? I wish I did understand it. I just don't. I don't know what that means. Scares me to think that I can't survive without beer. But I found I can't. Well, I quit it for a month not too long ago on my own accord. And I'm not going to say I can't survive without it, Stonely. I'm not going to say that, but I'm going to say that Benjamin Franklin said that beer is proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy. And here's to Benjamin Franklin. Hey, look, some people drink 15, 20 Coca-Colas a day, cans of Coca-Cola. I drink on a heavy drinking day. I drink 9 cans of beer. And I get this Natural Light now in the 30 pack for $12.99. That's not even 50 cents a piece. I sell my Coca-Colas out at my fruit stand that's open right now. You could walk in and buy one for $1 a piece. So they cost less. And I'm going to tell you right now, Coca-Cola, woo, you shouldn't. They say it'll clean a battery. It won't. You just make it sticky. But it's disgusting. It's bad for, I shouldn't say it's disgusting. I love Coke. Love the taste of it, but it's bad for you. It's very, very bad for you. All right, folks. I'm going to take an intermission. I'm going to come back with my final word. Memes, everybody that cares to, I'm going to put my email out here because you probably won't be able to get a hold of me on Twitter anymore if you ever want to. I don't know. I've Twittered MC like 50 times. He never answers me. I'm sure he reads them though. So it's, yeah. I think I know what it is. I should do it. Anybody that wants it. And I'll get my Gab shit together. Probably do a stream, talk about Gab. For now, listen to this. I'm going to go get a beer. Well, I think I'm going to leave you with this idea. If I can get it in my head. I mean, I want to get this out in a way that's easy to understand. The point is this. I wasn't surprised when I tried to say, hell, I hadn't been on Twitter for a couple days anyway. When I tried to get on and it said I was suspended, I wasn't surprised. And the point is, if you sow the wind, you'll reap the whirlwind. You will reap what you sow. And I knew I was breaking their rules. I also knew that their rules applied to me and that they wouldn't apply to others in other groups the same way. I'm not a fool. I knew that. But because I knew all those things, I'm the one that chose it. Now, I'm definitely not giving Twitter any kind of excuse or saying that they're good people or they did a good thing. No, I think they're an odious, disgusting, foul cesspool where nothing good ever really happens. It seems to be just a foul, disgusting cesspool. I think that it's about as clear as I can say it. Man, I got this still up. I'm going to X out of it, but it keeps flashing. But I'm suspended. I've been suspended. So that's it. If you live a certain way, don't be surprised. If you smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a day, don't be surprised when you go in to get your checkup and the doctor says you have lung cancer. I'm on the upswing now. I'm down to 215 pounds, but I did get up to 235 pounds. I did that. I did it. You know, if I want to be 235 pounds and stay there and live the life of just eat whatever the fuck I want, whenever I want, drink, 15, 20 beers a day, not do much of physical exercise. Well, I'm going to reap a heart attack by the time I turn 60. I'm going to reap stomach cancer. I mean, these things, I understand, people want to down or dog beer stonely, but this is the fact. You can drink all the beer you want if you're active. These things happen to people. Now, that doesn't count for smoking. I'm not going to give anybody a pass for smoking cigarettes. You smoke cigarettes, quit. You should stop. They're killing you. You want to live longer, wear your seatbelt, stop smoking. Don't be surprised. Marvel not. We make our own beds. I make my own bed. I don't want to. I'm not going to come to today or any other day. Kick me off Twitter. Or even, British sure don't like me anymore. Whatever. I mean, we when we do what it is that we believe is right, when we stand up for what we believe in, we will not always be popular. But we will not always have access to all of the cool places where the cool kids go. I'm about 75% sure that Donald Trump will be reelected. It does make me happy. But when I really pondered it, boy, it's a bummer that's been our savior here is a billionaire playboy that has a trophy wife. I mean, I'm not saying any of these things are bad. I'm just saying that that's what it came to, that we live in this idiocracy, that it couldn't be someone that just said, you know what, I've been around here so long. I've seen this for so long. I'm done with it. And they have the know-how. They know how to go in these channels. I feel for Trump. I mean, please put yourself, empathize with Trump, if you will, for a moment. They're talking about frog marching your kids out of the White House with you. Call you everything but a decent human being. To say that you should do something, but then if you do it, say, I wish he should never have done that, or he did it in the wrong way. Anybody that thinks that doesn't affect him at all, come on, man. I think that might have been my bell. Let me look real quick, folks. No, I was just literally trying to get attention. It worked. It's hard for me. I've got these new headphones. Well, they're not new. I've had them laying around for 2 years, but I just broke them out, and they really do. They cancel out the noise. I can't hear much of anything except for my own voice and the sound of that, of the music. The day we all agree is the day we all could be wrong. I support Trump. Thank you, Digital Drive. I will send you an email back, let you know I got it. I tried to put myself in that position, though. All right, Lily, that's enough. Lay down. Lay down. I try to put myself in this position. Someone is probably thinking right now, well, I mean, he's a billionaire. It doesn't matter. In fact, I would say this. If you're very, very, very rich, things that bother you probably are harder to deal with than if you're borderline poor. Why? Because you got all that money and you still can't solve your problems. And at the very least, the very baseline, because now, I mean, I guess I sound like Gwyneth Paltrow or one of these, I think it was her that said, oh, it's harder for an actress. Because, yeah, you're a working mom, but try to raise a kid when you're on set. And yet craft services feeding you and a million grips and aids and everything else that will do anything you ask them to do. But it is true. I mean, this rich man, I've counseled people, and I've been a youth minister, and I've counseled youth that were from wealthy families. And boy, they're some of the most miserable people. Got everything. When I worked down at the, I almost said the name of the church, but when I worked down in, we'll call it Apopka, Florida, that's close enough. Is it a very small church? Probably had 250 members could probably sit in it. I guess it's not very small, but it's small. And boy, it was very wealthy. It was, in fact, it's in the top 4 or 5 richest churches I've ever been to. And, per capita, per person sitting out there, most of the people out there were wealthy, not just rich, were wealthy. What do I mean by that? I mean, they lived in a $2.5 to $3 million mansion in a gated community, and were wealthy. And they couldn't figure it out. They say, I got all this money. I've got these toys. My mom just bought me a new surfboard. I can drive my truck to the beach every day if I want. I'm going to go to Loma Linda College in California. I've been to private boarding school my whole life. I can play the violin, the piano. I'm thinking about one kid in particular. I play the violin, the piano. I'm a virtuoso, they call me. And everybody kisses my ass, but I want to go out and smoke meth. And I can't stop thinking about getting high and fucking up. And, for myself, I would think to myself, man, I thought drugs, I would never say this to this child, but I thought drugs were made for people whose lives sucked. And it's so irrational because, yes, of course, not just through my work, but also through my life, I'd seen many, many instances of wealthy people destroy their lives. Amy Winehouse, man, ain't gonna go to rehab. No. Well, she ended up deader than hell. Yes. There's not much in life that a human being can't handle if they are at least a little realistic with themselves. What I'm trying to convey with this idea is that if you tell yourself, I understand that I am a dick to Twitter on purpose, a private company who allows me to use their platform. I know that they're all leftists and I'm posting these extremely right-wing memes and balls out for Trump, the whole 9 yards, and saying fag, using all the words, all the trigger words that I know that are just words. I mean, I want them to understand, when did it change? I mean, I'm done with the point of empathy. I hope you understand that. I just wanted you to see. I want you to sometimes look even through Trump's eyes. Even through Trump's eyes. Never tell yourself, well, that human being has it so made that I am going to tear them down, assuming they can handle it. Man, folks, you never know when the kindness that you give, when the small thing you do will change someone's life in a positive way, will create a new life, a new path could open up to this human being. You could be responsible by a simple, kind gesture for the changing of a life, for the betterment of a human being. I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm not being over dramatic about this. This is a fact. This is something that I try to live by. And unfortunately, if you live that way, you have to be an asshole very often because people will mistake your kindness for weakness. They will. And there's, you're always going to come a time where you have to look, oh, fuck yourself, man. And it sucks. Because as that is my credo, always hurts to tell somebody to go fuck themselves. And look, not because it's the way I do it, but this is what I believe. That's why I do it that way. If you tell somebody to go fuck themselves and it doesn't hurt a little bit inside, you're a dick. And you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't. But if when you say that, if you say, listen, get the fuck out of here, get the fuck gone, fuck off on the horse you rode in on. And in your heart, you're like, man, I wish this wasn't happening. That's okay. But if you're not, if you're in your heart, you're like, yeah, it's just not right. We can judge ourselves, you understand. We lie to ourselves so often. I've been so brutally honest with myself. I keep myself up nights sometimes, not so much lately. But I sure did last decade in my 30s, especially my mid 30s, man. I keep myself up at night. I don't know why. I think it's something that we all may go through, possibly because in our Western modern world, we never have that rite of passage as men, that do or die moment, like in Vanuatu, where they dive off of those towers with vines around their legs. I mean, there's these things with American Indians that go on vision quests and go on journeys. There's all kinds of examples. We don't have nothing like that. What, you graduate from high school, tell your dad you're gonna kick his ass, get thrown out of the house? I didn't do those things, but I mean, it seems like that's the norm. The Oedipus, get the Oedipus complex going on. Things change that way. Who knows? Pardon me as I have a guzzle here. Need to look back at the comments too. Trump did party and grow up in the deep state. He saw it from the inside. Yeah, that's possible. I don't know. He didn't party though. I don't think he's ever had a drink of booze, ever. And I know he's never smoked a cigarette. His brother Fred was a drunken cig smoker, and he made him promise he'd never smoke. Killed him. Guy died young. Memes of destruction just has some dots. I'm sure it's profound. Those are profound dots. I'm a dick, Stoney says. When I found out they were listening to us, game was on. Well, you got to. Sometimes you have to be. I got a raft called the White House. Guess what? I can do every time I go to the river. I can blow up the White House. That's actually pretty good. He's got a raft called the White House, and every time he goes to the river, he blows up the White House. Pretty funny. Pretty good stuff. I don't know if I missed anybody else. Stoney's in a very talkative mood today. He often is. Very interesting fellow. If you don't know him, I don't know if Digital Drive, I don't know if you know Stoney. You must by now. If you don't, get to know him. Great guy. In fact, we have 2 of the 3 wizards we already mentioned here today. Stoney and, of course, the memes of destruction. Oh, look, folks, as much as I'm looking at the time, as much as I'd like to hang around all day and just bullshit, I was beating the heat for a little while and getting a couple cold ones in me, but I got a little bit more gardening to do. I got some weeding to do. I need to, for anybody that wasn't around the last time, here it is right here. I screen share this for a second. Give me a second. Got to go work in the garden. I got a lot of gardening to do. But let's see. This thing skips so much I don't even really play it. I'm just going to skip ahead to there they are. You can see the trellis right here with the tomatoes. And this is a few days ago. These tomatoes are up past the stake already. On this size, cherry tomatoes. Oh my goodness, we should have so many cherry tomatoes. So of course that's the Cabbage Patch Bastard Memorial Cabbage Patch right there. Little head already in it. Beans and there. So I got to go out right now, and do some more of the stringing that you can see right here. See these strings coming down? I don't know if the resolution, the bit rate's good enough to notice them. Maybe I get a little bit closer in here and you can see, yeah, you can see that string there, one over here. Even since this has been taken, there's like a few more down here. But so the ones that are close enough, I weave in and out of this cage, and the ones that are not close enough, I put strings down to pull them up. In the end, I should be able to walk right through here and reach in here and just grab tomatoes, 2-3 feet thick. I got to keep it somewhat thin in there so the breeze can go through. I don't want them to get the blight or to get powdery mildew. I have to, but that's what I'm going to go do right now. I sure love working in my garden. It gives me a sense of peace and puts me at ease. And, look at that. Yeah. Anyway, everything goes well. It should be an excellent harvest all around in the garden. But there's a good shot too. I'm almost all the way in the southeast corner of the garden, looking west, looking a little northwest, northwest. I guess you'd call that. And that's it, man. I love that. It's just my favorite place to be right here. What you're looking at. I love to grow stuff. I love to eat things from my garden. I mean, it's primal. It's something that connects you with the earth. It's something that everyone. Hey, how you doing, Straight Seth Mel? Good to see you, brother. It's something that everyone, if you have a space to do it in, man, you should give it a shot. I mean, you can see by the corn around there. I'll have enough corn to. I'll be freezing sweet corn and canning sweet corn. We'll have it all year, and it makes you feel good. As I said, it gives you a connection to the land. And now I tell you what, folks, be good to your friends, be good to your family members, be good to your loved ones. Be quick to say you're sorry. Be even quicker to accept an apology, especially when that thing your friend, your family member, your loved one has done seems to be so huge you'll never be able to forget about it. Because constant viewers, at a time you think not, your friends, your family members, your loved ones, your life, and everything you know will depart from you. One more for the road. See ya.